Russia is present in the Caucasus, is present in our occupied territories for so many years, has been intensifying its presence in the occupied territories, has been intensifying the provocations in the occupied territories on the administrative line. There are hostage-taking, borderization, everything that one can think of to make the situation more tense. And the number of Russian soldiers in the occupied territories is impressive, as well as a military bases. More impressive is the number of Russian military on the other side of the Russian border itself, in the Caucasus side, North Caucasus side, where the military base is being reinforced. So what happens in the Nagorno-Karabakh does not change radically the situation. It's an addition to an already tense situation, to an already heavy military presence, and provocative stance, I would say, towards the stability of the region. But the better news, I would say, is that we have managed, despite that, for what concerns Georgia, to continue our European path, our European integration path. And in fact, today, the Prime Minister is in Brussels, meeting with NATO, meeting with the Association Council. The war itself on Nagorno-Karabakh between our two neighbors has at least has been prevented for destabilizing, I would say, the region as a whole. I hope that we will move to something different in the very short future, which is to have a more direct involvement of the European Union. Which through the Minsk group should have been much more present in this conflict. I think the issue is really an issue of foreign policy for the European Union that cannot let Russia be the one power in the region.
One of your neighbor, Iran, is very active. Which role do you see for Iran in the Caucasus and Middle East globally?
Well, in fact, Iran is not that present in the Caucasus. It has been more present at different periods of history. Today, it's not present. It's trying to keep pace, I would say. And that's the reason why we had a visit of the foreign minister in the three republics. That was 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. And I think that it was more reactive than proactive. Iran, having heard and seen the activity of Azerbaijan together with Turkey, the activity of Russia, was a bit in a situation of don't forget about us, we are also close to that region and also interested in the infrastructural projects that can develop in the region. So that's today, that is a position of Iran. An outsider that is trying to get more active in the region. But again, in this region, I think it's not a region that can, in the future, be exclusive of anyone. But it has to be inclusive of our main partners. And our main partners are the European Union and the United States.
According to you, Mrs. President, is Georgia still mentally struck by the war with Russia in 2008, in which you lost two pro-Russian regions, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, which represented 20% of Georgian territory?
I would not qualify these regions as pro-Russian. These regions are regions that are occupied by Russia. They're not pro-Russian, and in fact, there are many different perceptions within the regions of what should be their future, how they view their proclaimed independence, which is not necessarily pro-Russian, even that. So I would certainly disagree with the qualification. And we, as I said, just starting with that Russia is present in the region and is present in a very aggressive manner in these occupied territories and on the administrative line that separates these occupied territories from Georgia. It's our territories, but we cannot have access to those, even to provide humanitarian aid, even to provide aid in a very dire COVID situation. So that's very preoccupying, of course. But what I want to emphasize is that this is, after all, a very past centuries way of dealing with the region. We have been used to that in the Caucasus. We have seen Russian Empire. We have seen Soviet activities, and it's the same inertia of trying to be present by the use of force. And it doesn't get you anywhere because the occupied territories are in the same situation. Georgia is progressing, Georgia is moving forward, and that has not, I would say, diverted Georgia from its path. If that was the aim, to try to keep Georgia from moving west, from going towards Euro-Atlantic integration, it has not succeeded. It has been very heavy, very painful, certainly, for the Georgian population and for the population that lives in the occupied territories, but it has not changed strategically the direction of Georgia. And I think that's where we can say that we have our victory in this very uneven situation, because, of course, in terms of force relationship, we are nowhere close to be able to react to Russian military pressures. But still, we have kept our independence, we have kept our political orientations, we have kept our path to democracy, and we have kept our path to Euro-Atlantic integration.